Something genuinely new just landed in the drone world, and it's not just another incremental update with a slightly better camera. The DJI Avata 360 is a completely different kind of flying machine, and to understand why that matters, you have to go back a little. Insta360 made a bold move recently, subject tracking and FPV flying all in one package. It caught a lot of people off guard, but DJI doesn't sit still for long, and the Avata 360 is their answer. Built on the foundation of the Avata 2 FPV drone and loaded with camera tech from the Osmo 360 Action Cam. Here's everything you need to know about whether this drone actually delivers. The whole concept behind the Avata 360 starts with two ultra-wide cameras, one pointing up and one pointing down, each with an f1.9 lens and a 1.1-inch 64-megapixel sensor. Together, they capture unobstructed 200-degree views that get stitched together into full 360 video at up to 8K 60 frames per second. What this means in practice is that you can focus entirely on flying and worry about framing your shots later in DJI's Studio app. It completely changes the way you think about piloting a drone. And if you're flying in FPV mode with DJI's Goggles M3, the head tracking lets you look in any direction just by turning your head, which sounds genuinely surreal. Unlike the anti-gravity A1, which only shoots 360 video, the Avata 360 also supports regular single-camera 4K shooting at up to 60 frames per second, giving you a lot more flexibility depending on what you're actually trying to capture. Because of that chunky 360 camera sitting on top, the Avata 360 is slightly bigger and noticeably heavier than the Avata 2, coming in at 455 grams. That does mean you'll need a permit to fly it in most regions, which is worth knowing before you buy. But that extra weight comes with a serious safety advantage. The propellers are fully shielded, making it genuinely safe to fly indoors or around people, something the open-prop anti-gravity A1 simply can't claim. On top of that, you get omni-obstacle sensors on the sides, a LiDAR sensor up front, landing sensors on the bottom, and obviously a camera that sees everything around it. DJI also throws in a foldable landing mat to keep those lenses off bare ground, which is a small but thoughtful touch. As an FPV drone, the Avata 360 is seriously fast, hitting up to 40 miles per hour in sport mode and capable of pulling off flips, rolls, and cinematic whoop-style maneuvers when paired with the optional FPV Remote Controller 3. Battery life sits at a rated 24 minutes, though real-world flying will likely bring that closer to 18 minutes, so grabbing the Fly More kit with 3 batteries is basically a must. Range is impressive at up to 20 kilometers, double what the Avata 2 could do, and video transmission to the goggles runs at 1080p 60 frames per second through DJI's OcuSync 4.0 system. Internal storage sits at 45 gigabytes, which fills up fast at 8K, but there's a micro SD card slot available, and you can transfer footage over USB-C or Wi-Fi through the DJI Fly app. Here's where we have to be honest, because the video quality conversation is more complicated than the specs suggest. That 8K number only applies to the full 360-degree footage. Your final flat video after processing will actually be 4K or lower, and digital zoom instead of optical zoom reduces sharpness further. You'll also occasionally notice a visible seam where the two camera feeds are stitched together, and edge softness from de-warping is a real issue. Low light performance also takes a hit because the fixed 360 camera relies on electronic stabilization instead of a gimbal, which can introduce motion blur in darker conditions. If pixel-perfect image quality is your priority, the Mini 5 Pro or Air 3S is going to serve you better. The DJI Avata 360 is a genuinely impressive piece of kit that outclasses its only real competitor in almost every way that matters. better safety, better features, better overall polish, and a starting price of around $530, which actually undercuts Insta360. It's not for everyone though. This is a drone built for FPV pilots, solo filmmakers, and creators who want maximum flexibility in post over maximum image sharpness out of the box. If that's you, it's one of the most exciting drones on the market right now. So what are your thoughts? Is 360 video on a drone actually useful for what you shoot, or is it a gimmick you'd never use? Drop it in the comments. Is the DJI Neo actually the most beginner-friendly drone DJI has ever made? Or is that just clever marketing doing the heavy lifting? Because on paper, this thing looks like the perfect first drone. Lightweight, affordable, packed with smart features, and built by a brand that basically runs the drone world. But specs are one thing, real-world experience is another. So today, we are breaking down what the DJI Neo gets right, where it cuts corners, and whether it truly deserves a spot as your first drone. Stick around because the answer is not as obvious as it seems. The first thing you notice about the DJI Neo is how unintimidating it feels. This is not a drone that screams professional gear. It feels approachable, compact, and intentionally simple. Weighing just under 250 grams, it slips into a backpack without a second thought, which is a big deal for travel and casual use. The foldable design keeps it protected when you're on the move, and the clean white finish with subtle gray accents gives it that familiar DJI polish. Everything about the Neo's design signals that this drone is meant to be picked up and flown, not studied for an hour before takeoff. Now let's talk about the camera, because this is where expectations need to be set properly. The DJI Neo uses a 1/2.3-inch sensor capable of shooting 2.7K video at 30 frames per second. On paper, it sounds modest, and that is exactly the point. This is not a drone built for cinematic filmmaking or commercial work. Instead, it delivers clean, shareable footage that looks great on social media and casual edits. The 3-axis mechanical gimbal does a lot of the heavy lifting here, keeping footage smooth even when conditions are less than perfect. If you're chasing 4K or heavy color grading, this is not your drone. But for everyday memories, it absolutely gets the job done. Here's where the DJI Neo really earns its reputation. Flying this drone feels almost effortless. The app interface is clean and intuitive, guiding new users through setup and flight with minimal friction. Smart flight modes like quick shots add instant cinematic flair without requiring manual skill, while Follow Me tracking handles movements surprisingly well for a drone in this class. Return to home adds peace of mind, especially for first-time pilots who are still building confidence. Stability is another highlight. Even in moderate wind, the Neo holds its position far better than you would expect from a lightweight drone, which goes a long way toward reducing stress during flight. Battery performance lands exactly where you would expect for an entry-level drone. Around 25 minutes of flight time per charge is respectable but not impressive. It's enough for a few short sessions or planned shots, but longer outings will require extra batteries. This is one of those areas where the Neo reminds you of its budget-friendly positioning. It's not a deal-breaker, but it is something to plan around if you tend to lose track of time once you're in the air. At around $299, the DJI Neo is one of the most accessible drones DJI has ever released. That price makes it an easy recommendation for anyone curious about drones but hesitant to spend big right out of the gate. That said, accessories can quickly add up. Extra batteries, spare propellers, and carrying cases are classic DJI pricing territory. The base drone is affordable, but building out a full kit will raise the total cost. Still, compared to stepping into higher-tier models, the Neo remains a far more approachable starting point. So, is the DJI Neo the most beginner-friendly drone DJI has ever made? Honestly, yes. It's simple without feeling cheap, capable without being overwhelming, and priced in a way that lowers the barrier to entry. It's perfect for first-time pilots, travelers who want a lightweight aerial camera, and social media creators who value ease over complexity. If you need advanced features like 4K video or professional controls, you'll want to look higher up the lineup. But as a first drone, the Neo nails its mission. What do you think? Is this the right starting point, or would you skip straight to something more advanced? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.